Hey everybody, and welcome to this video. We're gonna give you my top lifestyle tips to help you burn fat fast. And all these tips are effortless things that you can apply into your daily routine to give you better results a lot quicker than if you're not doing them already. And so not only these are some fat burning tips, but these tips will also keep you healthy. So they're also healthy lifestyle tips, but they're also fat burning tips. So I kind of want to dig into them as they're gonna make you feel really great. And they're also gonna give you results really quickly by applying these things into your daily routine. So just really quickly, I got 7 of my top favorite tips I like to stand by. And these are tips that I do every single day, and this is just how you can go about your day. But anyways, just to dig in, I got 7 of my top favorite lifestyle tips, and the very first one is to drink lots of water first thing in the morning. Number 2 is drink less fluids with your meals. Number 3, eat only when you're hungry. Number 4, eat your biggest meals throughout the day. Number 5, avoid cold drinks and cold foods, and only eat warm foods and lukewarm fluids at the coldest. Number 6, do cardio in a fasted state, which is more of my workout stuff. And then tip number 7 is the most important tip of it all, and that is to use a food scale with your diet and meal planning. So just to dig right into it, tip number 1, drink lots of fluids with first thing in the morning. So what I do is I wake up in the morning, I go to the bathroom, I weigh myself, and the very first thing I do is I drink 4 cups of water. So I'll get out a pint glass, fill this up with water, with lukewarm water, and then I'll down 2 of these, and that's your 4 cups of water first thing in the morning. So by drinking an excessive amount of water, what that's going to do is it's going to rehydrate your entire system. So I know a lot of people already might be just drinking like 1 cup of water, and that's enough to clean out your stomach, and it kind of goes right through you, and that's nice and all. But by drinking 4 cups of water first thing in the morning, or maybe even if a little less if you're smaller, or if you're a bigger person, maybe 5 glasses of water. But for me, I drink 4 cups of water every morning. And so what that's going to do is going to rehydrate your entire system. So the excessive amount of water that goes into your stomach is just going to kind of overflow into other parts of your body, such as other organs like your kidneys, your intestines, your muscle tissue, your tendons, and go all the way to your skin. So drinking it and first thing in the morning is the best time to do this, as your body is like a sponge and it's just ready to take in nutrients and just take it all in and put it to use. So first thing in the morning, drink 4 cups of water on average, and just rehydrate your entire system. Now, the other part of this is like what I also do is my first cup of water, when I fill this up, my first glass of water, I'm gonna put in some lemon juice, which I have some lemons over to the side here. I just cut them in half, squirt some lemon juice in there, the entire lemon, and then I put 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and a dash of cayenne pepper. And then my first glass of water is gonna be basically that concoction. So lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, cayenne pepper, I down that down, and then I add in 1 more full pint glass of lukewarm water, and I drink that as quickly as I can without being too uncomfortable. So that's my tip number 1, rehydrate your entire system first thing in the morning, as it's gonna go rehydrate all of your tissues in your body. So tip number 1 leads us into tip number 2. So with tip number 2, we're gonna be drinking less with our meals. Now, obviously don't make this uncomfortable for yourself. You can still drink with your meals, but if you're drinking an excessive amount of water, you're putting this much water in your stomach along with food, what that's gonna do is gonna dilate your digestive enzymes and make them less powerful. So your stomach has digestive enzymes that break down food as you eat, and you wanna keep those as potent as possible. And if you drink a lot of water or any kind of fluids with your meals, it's just gonna dilute those enzymes. So you want them to be as powerful as possible to break down your food as best as it can, because undigested food in your stomach sits in your intestines for a good 40 hours until you eliminate it. And so if you have undigested food in your digestive tract, it just leads to toxins, and that'll eventually create some kind of health condition. So you want to be able to keep your digestive system as strong as possible for optimum health. And that's not just in fat burning, but it's also just overall everybody. If you can keep your digestive system boosted, like 90% of all health conditions come from an impaired digestive system. So if you can keep your digestive system as strong, as powerful, you'll live a healthier, happier life just by doing that. So, but going back to this, drinking less with your meals. So like I'll have some fluids with my meals, like just to wash it down. But because you've had an excessive amount of water first thing in the morning, you'll have a good amount of saliva as you're eating, so you kind of have that going for you. But just drink as you need to with your meals. But like again, if you have like a whole pint of water with your food, that's just going to be diluting those digestive enzymes. So just drink sparingly as you need to, but still be comfortable as possible while doing so. Don't hurt yourself, obviously, but just be mindful of what you're doing, and just kind of sticking to this routine will keep your digestive system up and going. So the second part of this, drinking less with your meals, drink as you go throughout the day, drink in between meals if you have to. And then if you drink like even a pint of glass of water, make sure your meal is 20 minutes ahead of time. So that way, 20 minutes later rather. So you drink some water, that goes in your stomach, it takes 20 minutes to flush out. Now you can go eat a real meal. So if you're really thirsty, if you can help it, drink your water in between meals, and then just drink sparingly with your meals as you eat. So those are the first two tips. The next tip is eat only when you're hungry. So what I like to do is keep my meals 3 hours apart. That's a good average to aim for. But what I also do is make sure that each meal is at least 2 hours apart, because that allows your previous meal to digest and get out of your stomach. Otherwise, when you start eating and you have food still in your stomach, your digestive system has to start all over again before your previous meal gets to go into your intestines and keep going through the digestive process. So 2 hours is enough to clean out for your digestive system to break down the food and clear your stomach. So that's why I say aim for 3 hours in between each meal, but also don't go beyond 4 hours if you can help it. So by keeping your meals in a timely manner, your body is going to stay on a routine, and it's going to expect food. It's going to work like as an engine. So it's basically going to expect food at certain times, and it's going to digest foods better that way, because your body loves routine. So get on a routine of eating, on average every 3 hours. But if you go beyond 4 hours, your digestive system is just going to start getting off track. So you want to be on a good routine all the time. So that's tip number 3, is eat only when you're hungry. Also, when you're hungry though, that's when your body is telling you it's ready to break down food. So if you're not quite hungry at 3 hours, just let's say 3 hours in between, like within the next 30 minutes, maybe, or even an hour at the 4 hour mark, that's when you might be hungry. But when your body is hungry, that's when it's telling you that it's ready to digest food at its best potency. So you want to be able to eat when your body is hungry, and if you avoid this, or if you go too long, like your body is just not going to like it. So if you want your body to be a fat burning engine, you have to be on a routine, because it's just like your body just is like a car. You just want to keep moving steady as she goes, right? So just keep going down the path. And don't be wrong, there's been times where, like, yes, you might miss a meal or whatever, but as long as you're perfect, like 90% of the time, you're going to be okay. But eat only when you're hungry, because that's when your body is telling you that it's ready to eat and digest food at its best performance. So the next tip, eat your biggest meals during the day. I've already discussed this in the meal plan and the meal structure, but your digestive system is at its highest, your metabolism is at its highest at noon during the day when the sun's out and you're still active as well. But just going throughout the day from morning till sundown, that's when your digestive system is at its best. But noon to 2 o'clock, that's when it's at its peak. So you can have big breakfasts, big lunches, even a big third meal at 3 o'clock. But once the sun starts going down, start eating less and have your smaller meals then. But eat your biggest meals in the middle of the day, and that includes your carbs as well, which I already discussed. Tip number 5, avoid cold drinks and cold foods. So cold drinks, putting ice in your drinks, eating cold foods right out of the refrigerator, anything that's cold, even ice cream, cold milk, stuff like that, it's just going to slow down your digestive system. Anything that's hot is going to help boost it. So when you can, definitely always avoid ice in your drinks. But again, always have warm foods. Put your food in the microwave if you can't cook it. But warm cooked meals is always the way to go. Lukewarm water is another tip you can do. Drinking hot tea is gonna be great. Adding hot spices to your food, like sriracha sauce, buffalo sauce, black pepper, cayenne pepper, ginger, turmeric, any kind of spice, even cumin, all this stuff is going to help boost your digestive system. Like tacos, like taco seasoning, there's cumin in there. It's going to help boost your metabolism. So there's lots of cool flavors that you can add to your food that will make your digestive system work better for you. So, but avoid cold food, cold drinks, avoid hot foods, and lukewarm water at the coldest, right? So avoid cold drinks, cold foods, have hot foods and warm drinks or lukewarm water. So I don't discuss soda because I don't drink soda, but obviously soda is a lot of carbs. I'm not gonna talk about that, but that's more of a diet planning thing. But there's so many carbs and sugars in soda, I don't even mention it. So you're just gonna look at your nutrition labels. I mean, like a 10-ounce can of soda, just really quickly, has I think 30 carbs in it. So I just avoid soda altogether. So I know a lot of people drink soda in restaurants and have ice in it, but that's one of the worst things you could ever do. But I don't really talk about the obviously bad stuff. But anyways, the next thing we do is tip number 6, do cardio in a fasted state. Now I know this is more of a workout thing, but if you can do cardio first thing in the morning before you eat breakfast, you're gonna burn off the fat that's on your body. Whereas if you eat breakfast, lunch, a third meal, and then you go to the gym, you're just burning off the calories you ate that day. So, but if you do cardio in a fasted state, meaning you haven't eaten anything, you can burn fat that way. And if you have to do cardio later in the day, make sure your last meal was at least 2 hours prior. So you can go do cardio for 30 minutes, after your 2 hour mark, and be in a good state to burn off some fat off your body. So it's a lot better than if you just eat a meal, then you went to the gym, for instance. So do cardio in a fasted state. That's what I did for 6 months. I wake up every morning. I would even wake up early if I had to and go do 30 minutes on the treadmill, and then I'd get ready for work. So, and then eat breakfast, get ready for work. So just make that commitment, and just remember, the faster you do it, the faster you get results, the faster you can stop doing cardio. Because now I don't do cardio 5 times a week. I do cardio twice a week for 15, maybe 20 minutes. But when I was losing weight, 60 pounds in 6 months, I did cardio for 30 minutes, 5 times a week. So every morning before breakfast. So that's gonna help burn fat fast for you. Tip number 7 is the biggest tip of them all, is the most important tip, and that is to use a food scale. So I use a food scale all the time. This is literally your GPS for losing weight. So I don't even go to the store from my apartment to the grocery store without using my GPS on my phone, just so I don't miss a turn or whatever. But you can't eyeball your food out. You can't just guess. If you're in a restaurant, sure, you can just make your best educated guess on what you should eat. And I kind of go over those tips on restaurant eating and other videos. But a food scale, when you're in your kitchen at home, 90% of your meals, if you're weighing out 90% of your meals and you're going out to eat even every other day, say if you're eating 5 meals a day, and every other day you're going to a restaurant, that means 1 out of 10 meals is you're eyeballing your food out. But 90% of the time, if you're at home, even better yet, if you're 100% of the time, it's using a food scale is going to make sure you're accurate with all your protein, carbs, and fats every single time. You can't just take out, a cup of rice, throw it on your plate, and just say, and that's going to be your 25 carbs, because you never know if it's going to be more or less. So a food scale isn't always necessarily about cutting out food, but it's also making sure that you eat enough. So I can't say this enough. This is the key secret to making sure you lose weight, you stay on track, and making sure you hit your goals. So I use a food scale every day for 2 years, and it literally takes just seconds to do. I usually have a pot of rice already in my refrigerator, so it's already pre-cooked. So all I have to do is to take out the pot and get the measuring spoon, put my plate on my scale, and then just weigh it out. And it literally takes 10 seconds to do. Same thing to do with egg whites, or if I'm putting peanut butter on my toast. Everything is weighed out and precise. Before, back when I was overweight, I love peanut butter. So before I would have breakfast and have smother the toast with peanut butter just all over. But even 20 grams of peanut butter is enough to be satisfying. So, but a food scale is just to make sure you're on mark at all times. So you got to think about your food scale is again, your GPS. If you're driving from Los Angeles to New York City, I'm sure you can make it there without your GPS, but you might make a lot of wrong turns. But a GPS is going to make sure you get there on time, precisely all the time. So, but again, it's going to make sure you're accurate and you get your results quickly as possible. And it's also the way to maintain, your weight even after you've lost all your weight. So to make sure that I don't lose weight or even gain too much weight. A food scale is just maintaining your diet at all times, and it is literally the skeleton key to keeping the weight off and maintaining the weight you want to weigh. So even when you lose the weight you want to weigh and you add in one more extra meal, like I suggest in other videos, like adding a sixth meal to maintain your current weight, like it's always weighed out. And so that doesn't mean like when you go out to a restaurant, you know, you can still take educated guesses. Like for instance, like if I go to a restaurant and I want a steak, I'm not going to get a 32-ounce steak with onion rings. I'm going to get a filet mignon, which is like 6 ounces of meat, not 32. And then the filet mignon usually comes with like mashed potatoes and asparagus, you know. So that's a lot more better than eating a 32-ounce steak, 2 pounds of steak, which is way above, you know, the average you should have, but then you might have onion rings and french fries and things like that. That's when things get way out of proportion. So, but just being smart when you're out in a restaurant, that's when you can eyeball food out. Or even if you're on the fly at home, like if you don't feel like weighing out, I mean like not weighing out, but like recalculating all your protein, carbs, and fats. Say if you want to not have chicken thighs, but you want to have salmon instead. There might be some extra protein in salmon, some little bit more or less fat in salmon, but instead of just always weighing things out every single time, just substitute one fatty meat for another fatty meat, and then you can do that on the fly. So stuff like that is okay. But like when you're like being disciplined and you're like learning everything, weigh everything out, because you can't eyeball everything out precisely every single time. That goes with rice, peanut butter, potatoes, 5 ounces of protein in every meal, and so forth and so forth. So, but again, like as long as you're like 90% perfect with your diet, you're gonna have results. But a food scale is just the way to go. It's your GPS, and it's by far the most important thing to use to lose weight, and it only costs like 20 bucks. You can get a $20 food scale from Target or even something off Amazon. So those are my top hot tips on how you can lose weight. Apply these and you're gonna start seeing results a lot faster than if you're not already doing them already. So I'll see you in the next videos, and I help you lose weight, burn fat, and help you look great as well.